This morning I'm joined by the girl with the contagious smile. Mpho, good morning.
Good morning, Ebenezer.
How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. And how are you?
I am well. You know, this morning we're talking about a challenging subject.
Yes.
That you and I are going through a lot.
Okay.
Some of us, we may find ourselves in situations where our businesses are about to go under. Some of us, we are going through a lot. Yeah. We are going through a lot.
There's a lot going on.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And I'm curious, for the men and women right now, they just see you doing the amazing work that you do on social media, being an MC and all these amazing things that you do. Then there's that one who says, who is this girl with the contagious smile? Can you give them a little bit about a brief intro about who you are and what you do?
You know, I understand when people say, no, it's hard. It's hard to introduce yourself because who am I really? But nonetheless, I always say, I'm the girl with the contagious smile. But Mpho Malatji, it's just a girl from Unit D, you know, Mangweng Unit D. I'm 31 years of age and I'm a mother of a beautiful 6-year-old son. You know, my son is so beautiful, man. I always say, my son is beautiful. They're like, no, how can he be beautiful?
Yes.
And yeah, and besides me being a mother, I have a business that now I'm no longer operating. I used to sell chips and wings. I used to do graphics here and there, and also I am an MC. I try and MC here and there, and also I'm a radio host. And yeah, I think anything else you'll just find out. As
They'll find out. Yes, definitely. And you know, for many people, the temptation that they have is to look at you in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And then disqualify themselves. But that one was able to make her own dreams a reality.
Who
do we think we are? Who do we think we are? Because these are the excuses that make they make us feel comfortable in us settling for less. Mark, take us back a little bit. Take us to the little you when you were young and you were having these dreams of doing what you are doing today. How was it like?
You know, the crazy part, when I was growing up, I never thought of myself being behind the mic.
Okay, wow. Okay.
I never could have imagined myself being behind the mic. And another crazy thing about the whole thing, a lot of people around me saw potential I never saw in me.
Okay.
For me to be where I am today, somebody said to me, they are hiring this side, not here, not at Shine Bright, but somewhere else. They are hiring, go and try your luck. And I'm like, try my luck, you know. And she's like, no, do a demo and, you know, just go and see what happens. I went there with my demo. I went there, submitted my demo, and that's that. But before that, I went into construction. Before that, I did sales. Before that, I did a lot of things. And I excelled in sales, you know.
Okay.
Funny. I excelled very, very much in sales. And even in construction, somehow I excelled. You know, I did very good. But also, I was not fulfilled. When I was doing all these things, I was not fulfilled. But then, when I was behind the mic, something was happening. I'm like, no, man, I finally arrived.
Wow,
you know?
wow.
And I've never even studied for all of these things because I never believed I want to be a radio host. I mean, I wanted to be a psychologist because I've always believed because I'm always that one friend that people come to when they have problems. But radio host, I just discovered it along the way in life. But as a child, my upbringing was,
You never even thought about it?
No. Radio host, But here I am now. Today, I am who I am. I get behind the mic and people are like, yo, you are doing incredible work. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess this is my calling.
Wow. And you know, for many people, they were so caught up in maybe the dream that they had when they were young.
Yeah.
Maybe someone wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they didn't qualify to go and study medicine. Someone wanted to be an engineer. The same thing happened.
Yeah.
What do you do in those cases where you find yourself, or no, man, you thought that you were going to become this, but life is showing you and giving you different alternatives?
The thing about life will always channel you in a different direction. Life doesn't always align with your plans, because at the end of the day, you plan, God decides. You know, I remember going to a doctor.
Okay.
Kilo consult, and then doctor was like, I was asking about one of the medical conditions that I have, and then the doctor was like, why don't you just study medicine for you to understand your medical condition better?
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't like medicine at all. I would not survive, you know, especially with what we hear about medicine and how the lecturers are and everything. You need a thick skin. I don't have that, you know. So, but I guess what I'm trying to say in all that is that when life doesn't happen the way you've planned it, take the second option. Always have a plan B. Always have a backup plan, because you always need something to fall back on.
Yeah.
I don't know when you've planned to be a doctor and then you're not going to be a doctor and then you just give up in life. No, have plan B and plan C.
Yes.
You know, because all of those things, you're going to need them in life, because one thing about life, it changes all the time.
Oh yes, all the time.
Yeah.
You remind me of myself. Because now I'm that one who doesn't have plan Bs.
Why?
When I'm saying I'm going for something, like
you give
everything in.
What happens
and then when it fails, then
you break apart.
Then you're caught up and you're like, no, man, I gave everything there.
Yeah. So to avoid such things, to avoid a mental breakdown, have a plan A, have a plan B. If plan A doesn't work, go to plan B, and then even have a plan C.
Yes.
You know, because I mean, if there's one thing I've learned in my life, especially, is that you can plan all you want. If God doesn't want you on that path, you won't be.
I won't be.
You'll never be.
I won't be there.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, you just reminded me of a friend of mine who did the same.
Yeah.
Me, I'm going to business.
Yeah.
I'm leaving my job, putting everything. No, I'm going for this.
Yeah, what's hard?
Yeah, and then life came up and said, oh, no.
That's not your path.
You're not going to do this. And then just imagine you've lost everything. You've put everything in, and it doesn't work out.
Yeah,
that's tough. Talk to me. There's a young man, there's a young woman out there. They've got a dream. It didn't work out. Maybe they're on plan B. Maybe they're even on plan C or D, and things are not going well. Whatever they do, man. What should they do in that case?
I like a scripture in the Bible that says, for I know the plans I have for you. You know, there are plans to prosper you, not to perish you. God said that for a reason. There's a reason why there's that scripture. Things might not go as well as you planned or as well as you thought they would, but hold on a little longer. Whenever you feel like, hold on a little longer. Yes, sometimes people say holding on a little longer does more damage, but no, it's your life. Narrate, like sometimes learn to be the author of your own story, of your own life. You know, hold on a little longer. But it means plan Z. Hold on, my brother. Hold on, my sister. One way or the other. As long as you've got God in your life, or whatever it is that you believe in,
just hold on.
Hold on a little longer.
And then there's that one person who are ring no, man. I hear you guys. You are saying that I should hold on.
Yeah.
Ma, something traumatic has happened to me.
Okay.
Something tragic has happened to me. There was this guy that I loved very much, that I thought, we will be together.
Yeah.
And he broke my heart.
Okay.
Or there's this business that I thought would work out for me, and it's not going well.
Yeah.
Or there's this event that happened.
That changed my life.
That changed me and shaped me. It changed the way that I thought about life. What do we do in that case?
Okay. I'm speaking as a person who is not a victim but a survivor.
Okay.
I'm a survivor of 3 counts of sexual assault. Yeah?
Okay. Wow.
And for the longest time, I have been a victim. Trust me, for the almost 20-something years of my life, I've been a victim, feeling sorry for myself, thinking life has it in for me. Life, like I felt like the world owes me, until I just decided to wake up and decide that, you know what, it's time I need to take accountability. It's time I need to stop being a victim and take accountability and sort out my life and say, you know what, yes, it happened to me. The first step to dealing with what happened to you is to accept that it happened. It was not your fault. It happened, and it's okay, you know. It's okay, but you move on. How do I then rise from the ashes? How do I then rise from all the way down to being a better person, to doing better? How do I then be the author of, like I said, be the author of your own life. Write your own story. Because when it comes from you, you never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. Yes. Somebody might say, but I thought I was going through a lot. Can't know. This person also went through a lot. So, yeah, just you know, don't be a victim. Stop this victim mentality. A whole lot will go right.
But how do you do that? I remember a friend of mine who was saying to me, I remember, at home, my stepdad violated me. I ran to church, and the pastors and the bishops violated me. And now here I am, Mama Bolo, I'm angry. I'm angry at life. I'm angry at men. And now I want revenge. How do you get to that point where you've been a victim for so long you now even want vengeance for yourself?
And it keeps happening over and over again.
Yes.
The thing about sexual assault is that it changes a whole lot in you, with you, about you. Sexual assault is so crazy that you would want to take your life a few days after, a few weeks after. But also, it takes a lot of courage to say, yes, it happened. Like, accept what it happened. Accept what, yes, I got assaulted, and it's okay. Just accept what it was not your fault. There wasn't anything that you could have done, you would have done, that would have made the situation to go otherwise. It happened, it's okay. Then you start seeking help from there. It's either you speak to a professional or you speak to a friend. You find people are afraid to speak to friends because
they'll tell.
office you know, but I would advise people to seek professional help first. And yes, we have public facilities, they offer that. It might not go as smooth as we would want in private facilities, but try and seek help. And also the first thing the first favor you can always do yourself, accept what it happened. Learn to accept. Guys, I want to do acceptance, because the minute you accept, even when somebody's going to mention it in a way where they want to make fun of it, fun of you about it, it's not going to hurt as much as it's going to hurt when you have not accepted it. Yes. So accept and then seek help. Talk about it as well, and write down. You can journal it. Sometimes journaling helps, because the pain, trust me, it doesn't go away. Yeah.
And then there's the guy worrying, no, the reason I violated her was because I was trying to find the love that I never had my own. I thought my father would love me, but he never loved me. I thought that my mother would care for me, and they never did. So I go around. And I go around doing all of these things, trying to fill that void. What words of encouragement would you give that young man who is seeking this validation, or who's seeking this love in these horrific and tragic ways?
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is that before we get to giving this person advice, or rather encourage them, there isn't any good enough reason why a person should assault the other.
Yes.
There isn't a good enough reason. And also, secondly, love yourself first. From someone else when I was It's like me coming to you to be in a relationship with you. my happiness shouldn't be your responsibility. Yes. Already happy, so that we can be happy together. We are not only happy together on your own, so that when we are together, we are happy again. So I would say, love yourself first. There are so many things that a person can do to loving themselves. Be alone with yourself. Have a conversation with yourself. So many people are so busy with everything and anything for as long as they cannot be by themselves to have a conversation with themselves, because they're afraid of the demon that rises inside of them when they're alone. They're afraid of whatever conversation that rises up when they're alone. They're afraid of whatever they're hearing when they're alone, and that's bad. You know? So you need to start with loving yourself. Yeah, there isn't any better option than starting with loving yourself. Love yourself, trust me, a lot will go right.
And you know, for many people, I've heard them saying this. For Norman, I wish I can talk to the guy that did this to me.
Yeah.
If maybe I don't know if maybe you had that thought. Or Norman, I want to give him a piece of my mind if it's a piece of my mind. Have you ever had that thought on Norman?
I've never had a thought of speaking to someone saying, or one of my assaulters to say, I want to give him peace of my mind. No, I wanted to speak to him to ask why. That's the only thing. Why? Because I never understood why. You know, because, excuse me, it was somebody so close, somebody who was supposed to protect me.
Yes.
And then suddenly they are the villain. Suddenly they are the predator. Suddenly they are somebody I should be afraid of. You know why? Yes, that's all I would want to ask.
To ask them.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else would want to give their assaulter a piece of their mind, but why? You know, that's what I have.
Wow. That is a very, 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 very. Maybe as gentlemen, let us ask ourselves that question. Why are women afraid of us?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are women so afraid of us that even the sight of us at night, it makes the body shiver? No, that's a deep conversation that we need to have as men. Talk to me here. Here you are. I don't know what has happened in that situation. You were feeling pain in your body or whatever happens, and then you are in the emergency room.
Yeah.
And when all is said and done, the doctor says, Norman, you've got spinal bifida.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what that is and how was that experience for you?
All right. So the thing about spinal bifida is that I was not diagnosed. Excuse me. I was not diagnosed later in life.
Okay.
I was diagnosed.
Okay.
Yes, at birth.
Okay.
At birth, I was born with spina bifida. And then me having spina bifida, doctors trying to make the situation better, it then resulted in me having what we call hydrocephalus.
Okay.
Hydrocephalus is when, let's start with spina bifida. Spina bifida is when your spinal cord is protruding, is a bit longer than it should be, or it's outside.
Okay.
And then when they tried putting it inside, I don't know what happened, and then then resulted in me having what we call hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus is when you have a lot of water in the head. Okay. So what they do, they operate your head by a tube that is called a shunt that drains the water from the head to the body. And then it resulted again in me having what we call fecal incontinence.
Okay.
Yes. Wow. I swear to God, that is the last one. Fecal incontinence is when you can't control your bowel movements. Bowel movements, you can't go to the loo alone by yourself. You can go to the loo, but you can't control it. No, I can't go. It just happens. You can't do anything. Therefore, with that said, that's why I use adult nappies, adult diapers. I've been using them my entire life until today. And then I was also diagnosed with epilepsy. Yes, so all these conditions in 1%, but anyway, it is what it is. So I'm actually intending on having an awareness in October, because October marks Spina Bifida month. Wow. I want people to know what Spina Bifida is, because I was being bullied. People saying, it's a taboo. Like it was a very strange thing to see someone of my age having to still wear diapers at that age, and they would ask themselves amongst themselves, hey, and then when I can't know, it's not that's something I can't control, can't do anything about it, but they never really asked me. And along the years, I've had situations where I was in college, and then you find and then everything would just come out, and the pupils would laugh, and then I would drop out. I think I dropped out of 3 colleges already. But that's why I'm saying, I then stopped being a victim and then started taking charge of my life. I'm trying to rectify all those mistakes that I made in me being a victim, regardless of me being assaulted, regardless of me having all these conditions. I'm still trying to rectify those mistakes now. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's what happened.
Yeah, and the temptation in most cases is that when you've got all of these things that are happening that are not within your control, the temptation is to want to blame God.
Yes.
And I got the short end of life. Other people are driving Lamborghinis. So why did you give me? Yes. Why am I getting all of these things? How was that experience for you?
I don't know how many times I've tried committing suicide and it didn't happen. And I kept asking myself, why can't you just let me die? Because you're giving me all these things and I can't, there are a lot. But I remember the last operation I had in 2024. Towards 2025, the last operation I had, I never thought I'd make it.
Okay. Wow.
But my son then called me and he said to me, Mama, wow. And then when I survived, I realized that God still has a plan for me. That's why he says, for I know the plans that I have for you. And then I realized, he wants me to tell other people, no, you can also do it. You can do it, darling, and it's all okay, So yeah, yes, I hated God at some point for a very long time, but I then decided, you know what, it's time I stopped hating God, because situations and make you something a lot of people can look up to, or somebody a lot of people can look up to. And trust me, I do have people who look up to me and I'm like, why do you even do that? Because it's not like I'm a doctor or anything, but I realize, I don't know, I go through a lot, but I still act like nothing is happening because, it is what it is.
And then what do you do in those cases?
Yeah.
I mean, there's someone who's in the very same situation, or they are going through what you've been through. Am I making that transition, or no, man? You know what? Let me move from being the victim and become the victor. How do you make that transition? I mean, or maybe it will make me happy. Nothing. Like nothing is happening. How do you make that transition there?
The thing is, let me start by saying it's not easy. Even after transitioning,
okay.
It does not mean that you don't break. There are days where I break down. Like I just feel like I can't. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do anything, because why does God feel like it's okay for me to have all these? I can't. But it takes a lot of courage to transition. And I don't wanna say there is a solution to. There is a manual to transitioning, because I also don't know, but I believe me having and believing in God a lot helped me also with the transition to say, you know what, it's time I start taking accountability. It's time I stop believing, or I stop blaming people, or no, but I'm like this because my mother didn't, or my grandmother didn't, or and the one thing I also had was my mother was very supportive. When I lost my mother when I was doing grade 10 in 2010, that was the most difficult thing ever. I always tell people, me having all this condition and me being assaulted 3 times is not difficult. Losing my mom, her dying in my hands, that was the most difficult thing I've ever had to experience, because my mom was that one person who always tell me, there's nothing wrong with you. There is definitely nothing wrong with me. And then when she died, there was no one to tell me there's nothing wrong with me. I started seeing there is something wrong with me, And then how do you then go from there is something wrong with me to there's nothing wrong with me with no one. It just happened. Honestly speaking, I don't know how I did it, but I know it was with God. Yeah.
There is someone who I watched a loved one die in my hands. And even today I can't recover. I can't move on from this.
Yeah.
I lost my mom and my world has fallen apart. I lost my father, my brother, my sister. My life has fallen apart. What words of encouragement would you say to that person so that they will be able to, I don't know what would the right word be, Mara, what words of encouragement? To heal, rather. Yes, to heal.
The thing about losing a loved one, you never really fully heal, but you can try.
Okay.
Do what you are comfortable with. Okay. For now, I don't attend funerals at all. And even at home, they know what I don't attend funerals. It's not because I don't want to, but because of what happened with my mom. I still find it difficult even now to go to a funeral because it's just heavy on me. You know? I don't know what works. I don't have a solution for that one, but do what works for you. Try and ask God for strength, for a way to give you, to say, or maybe try and do this. I don't know, write about it, because I also try and write about it. Trust me, it gets better with time, and it will be okay. You know, it will be okay eventually, but it takes time. Don't rush it. One thing I told them, don't rush me to heal, because in as much as I don't want to be a victim forever, you shouldn't rush me to heal. Like healing is not something about
yes, it's
not a condition. Yes. Yeah, but don't rush your healing, and take time to yourself. Do what works for you, not for the next person, but for you. That's that.
Yeah, and you mentioned a little bit about the critics.
Yeah.
Because, people will think that they've got opinions.
Yeah, people have got opinions.
Yes, or they've got the best advice for everyone, how they should live their life, how you should conduct yourself, how you should do this and that way they want to come home, now they want. They will have opinions of how you look, how you dress, all of these other things. How do you deal with all of this, whether it's the chatter in the back or the criticisms on social media? How do you deal with them?
Sure, Mina, I've come a long way. I've decided to see myself as somebody who's confident, and trust me, I am confident. I've decided that I am who I think I am. You know, I remember this one time I was passing these 3 guys, and then the other one was saying to the other guys, okay. The other one is like, wow. Trust me. And it has been so many years, kisana problem with people they've bullied me. That in itself took me so many years back to that time when I had incidents when I was in college, and it broke me. But then I didn't break down forever. I stood up and I said, you know what? It's okay. There is nothing I can do about my condition. I can't control it. And then I was like, you know what? It's okay. It's fine. I'm going to own it because it's mine, and it's okay. So whoever says whatever, it's all good. I'll find a way to move and to deal with it. But it is what it is. Now it's okay. I've learned to block my ears from negativity, in a sense. I don't assume I am the president. What do you mean? You know, so I've learned to see myself as somebody who's of dominance, somebody who's important, somebody who's of dignity, somebody who deserves better, who deserves more in life. So if you see yourself as somebody who's good, somebody who's deserving of all the abundance, of all the good things, trust me, nothing can stop you.
Yes. And as we conclude, talk to me about having blessing, because I know how you do.
I love blessing.
For many people, when all of these things happen to you and in life, when the result or after they have a child, some may even blame the child.
Yeah.
Or no, now look at me, I can't live my dreams because I've got you to take care of.
Yeah.
Talk to us and even them about it.
So when you have spina bifida, they tell you you won't live up to 18 years. They tell you you won't live up to 25 years.
Okay.
When I was 24, 23, I think, when I was 23, 24, somewhere there, they told me I'll never be able to have a child unless I have a child before 25.
Okay, wow.
I had my son at 25.
Okay.
And I didn't think I would make it. Mara, God said, you know what? I know the reason why I brought you on this earth, and you're going to do what I say you're going to do. You know. And then I had my child. Oh, the first time I held him in my arms, I'm like, wow. Okay, he looked like a creature, you know. Babies look ugly when they are born, you know. But when I looked at him, and I was like, you are a blessing. That's why I named him Blessing.
Wow.
Because doctors, wherever I go, they tell me, you are a miracle baby. Hence, you are able to do all these things. And people who are having spina bifida don't do all these things. They don't have these things. So when I had my child, I never blamed him for anything. I loved him, and I love my child. He's the smartest kid I know, you know. He's such a happy child, man. And I think it's because I'm doing a good job, or at least that's what I'd like to believe, you know. And that he made me appreciate life even more, because I was able to give birth even when they told me, no, you can't, you know. And I was able to do it. I'm like, look at God, you know? Yeah, so it's amazing.
Wow, that is definitely amazing, because doctors will tell you things.
Doctors will tell you things. Every time I tell them what I was diagnosed with spina bifida, they would call them. Yes, that's it. They're like, how old are you now? And then I tell them, they're like, wow. Okay, yeah. So, but I am now, and I'm hoping to live even longer. Yes.
And in conclusion, talk to us about the various works that you are doing. Talk to us about the Drive and Thrive. Where can they listen to the Drive and Thrive? Talk to us about all of the amazing things that you are doing.
Okay, so the Drive and Thrive, I do it from 3 to 6 right here on Shine Bright Radio. Every Monday to Friday, and I also do MCing on the side. You know, you can call me.
Yes,
Don't be afraid
call.
to call me. Call me on 067-124-5218. That is 067-124-5218. I'll repeat that one more time. 067-124-5218. You can call me for an MCing gig. Don't call me for anything else. You know, call me for an MCing gig. And also, I'm also learning how to be a DJ, because I want to enhance in that. Yeah, obvious.
Yes.
So, but anything else, I think for now. And also, I'm doing an awareness drive in October, the Spina Bifida Awareness Drive, but I'm still starting now. I would be very appreciative if I get sponsors, somebody who's willing to sponsor. I'm all, you know, my arms are open.
Yes.
Please, if you can help in any way, please get in touch with me, and then let's work together. Yeah.
And in conclusion, your final word. There's a young woman who's listening to our conversation, and maybe they are even thinking about their own life, or would they survive the things that you've survived or you are surviving. There's a young man or a young woman who's discouraged wherever they are. What would your final words be to them?
You will survive. You will survive. But remember, so I'm saying to you, do your best, God will do the rest. Yeah, that's my final word.
Wow, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Joining us here. You know, I always say that, you know, my prayer for you is that may God enlarge you.
Thank you.
May He ensure that all of the dreams and the desires that you have, the awarenesses that you want to have, may the funders and the sponsors who are listening to this conversation, may they come through, and fund the venture, because this is information that we really need. I mean, I remember one time when someone very close to me said the same thing to me. I don't know, someone tried me. And I was so angry because I felt helpless as a man.
Yeah.
Or why didn't I do anything? I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
And my prayer for you is that may God give you the strength that you need.
Thank you.
May He give you all of the wisdom that you need, and ensure that whatever dreams it is that you are dreaming of, whatever big things you are planning on doing, may He see them through, because this assignment that He has for you, may it come to fruition.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Ebenezer. I appreciate that.